We can live a long, long time in an atmosphere of meditation and still keep our feet on the ground. Why should we keep our feet on the ground? Because the Word must become flesh, and it must become flesh not someday in a cloister, but in the next sentence we speak to a spouse, to a colleague, to a child. And so we begin now by entering that atmosphere together. In this room, no one is being judged. You are not being measured, corrected, or improved. You are being welcomed into your own life as it is, and into the presence that is as it is. Let us take 2 slow breaths together, no technique, just a quiet willingness. Inhale as if the world is already safe. Exhale as if you are already held. Again, inhale without striving. Exhale without a story. So it is. On the table before us, I place a simple clock, a humble timer, not holy in itself, neither good nor evil. It is a kitchen thing, an office thing, a phone face ordinary. But we will let this very ordinariness be our sacrament of stillness, the visible timer and the invisible presence, the one you can see to keep your feet on the ground, the one you cannot see to keep your heart in heaven. Why make a sacrament of a clock? Because we will not pretend that eternity excuses us from time. 5 minutes will be our promise. 5 minutes of no fixing, no arranging, no rehearsing. 5 minutes in which we do not make a better self or a better other, but yield to the presence that goes before us to make the crooked places straight. The prophet heard it as, "Be still and know that I am God." And the Master gave it to us as a practical instruction. Take no thought, not neglect, not indifference. An inner release that lets the Word become flesh. Take no thought for your life, he said. And again, with an intimacy that touches our purpose here, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that hour what ye shall speak. This is not poetry for a far place. This is guidance for the kitchen table in the boardroom and the hard talk at the end of a long day. The clock is here to tell your human mind only 5 minutes. You are safe to stop. You will not be late for your own life. You will not lose the thread of your responsibility. You will only set it down long enough to let it be carried by the one who gave it. If this sounds mystical, it is. And yet it is the most practical mysticism there is. We keep our feet on the ground because harmony must show up in the words we choose at 3:15 on a Tuesday. The presence is not proved in a feeling. It is proved when the next word lands like a gentle key in a stubborn lock. When we stop judging appearances, this person right, that person wrong, this condition good, that one evil, we discover a new government at hand. The good that governs is invisible to sense, but it governs. Withdraw your judgment for 5 minutes and watch how the air changes. You are not being asked to solve a problem in those minutes. You are being invited to step out of the problem maker. I, my own self, can do nothing, said the Master, and he was not making himself small. He was making room for God. So here is our foundation, beloved, a visible timer and an invisible trust. 5 minutes of turning within before we speak, so that the word that comes is not the scramble of our rehearsed reasons, not the defense of our thin pride, but the simple, practical word given. You will know it by its fruit. It will not be clever, it will be clear. It will not be grand, it will be grounded. It may be as modest as "tell me more," or as firm as "let us pause," but it will carry a hush in it, and we will not claim authorship. We will only give thanks that the Word, eternal and quiet, found flesh in our ordinary life. Keep your gaze soft on the clock, keep your heart soft on the presence. This is our altar and our assurance. For the next minutes and for the next conversations, we do not step out of life, we step into life under another government, and the promise stands. As we take no thought, the next right word will be given, and given in time to be spoken with grace. Let the breath testify. Let the body unclench. Let the room be free of judgment. The practice has begun. Now let us name what makes a conversation hard. It is not the words on the page of that email, nor the topic written on the agenda. It is the moment when fear rushes in, fear of losing ground, fear of being seen, fear of being blamed. It is the moment when pride stiffens the neck and hurt closes the door, and we reach instinctively for our weapons, proofs and precedents, interruptions and indictments, fixes and formulas. We gather our talking points like stones, and then wonder why the air thickens. In that very moment, the Master's counsel is most needed. Take no thought how or what ye shall speak. Not because the issue is unimportant, but because the issue, like the timer on the table, is neither good nor evil. The conversation itself is not your enemy. The enemy, if you will, is the scramble, the anxious mind trying to preserve its own face. I, my own self, can do nothing, said the one who healed with a word, and so it is. Here is our thesis, and it is not new, yet it must be made new in the next sentence you speak. The word must become flesh. Spiritual realization must show itself as concrete harmony in ordinary speech. If what we call our prayer never becomes a gentler tone at the kitchen table, never becomes a clean, clear boundary in the manager's office, never becomes a simple "I hear you" to a child with wet eyes, then we are living in a dream. And no proof has been brought to earth. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. That is not the story of one life 2,000 years ago. It is the pattern of this very hour. The presence that goes before you makes the crooked places straight, yes, but it must go before you right into your mouth, into your syllables. Not grand speeches, God save us from grand speeches, but the next practical word, given. So we stand at a fork, not outside in the world, but within two paths, and only one spirit. On the first, we react from thought, from the old man of flesh that Paul speaks of, the identity that believes, it lives by its cleverness, that it must win or be nothing. On that path, we defend, correct, advise, and the air contracts. On that path, we speak about truth as something we own, and we drive our brother farther away. On the second path, we pause into presence, the child of God path, where we release our rightness and take our rightful place as branch, not vine. There, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, and you can feel it. The breath loosens, the jaw softens, the labels fall off the other person, and they become once more a person without qualities. And you become once more one who is not judging. In that atmosphere, the given word arrives not manufactured, not rehearsed, bearing its own quiet authority. And do not think the given word is always sweet. Sometimes it is as straightforward as, I am not ready to answer. Let me sit with this. Sometimes it is as plain as, I hear the impact I had, I am sorry. Sometimes it is as practical as, we'll need a boundary here, or this conversation needs a pause. But you will know the difference. The same topic, a different source. The same facts, a different government. James warned us that the tongue is a fire, and so it is when lit by fear, but the same tongue becomes a lamp when lit by presence, a lamp unto my feet. Because the word given lights only the next step, and that is enough. If you ask, can this be done at home in the heat of it? I will say to you, yes, and yes again, but not by the man of flesh. The man of flesh will start 3 sentences before he has found the presence and will hope to find it on the way. He rarely does. The child of God will stop short 5 minutes when possible, 5 breaths when not, and in that pause withdraw judgment from appearances. You are not dealing with a difficult spouse or a stubborn colleague. You are beholding a person who, like you, has no intrinsic qualities of good or evil. You are dealing with the invisible good that must be allowed to govern this moment. The minute you do that, You are no longer a contestant, you are a transparency. The presence speaks through you as through a clean window. We will demonstrate this shortly. Same topic, different source, so you may taste the before and the after. Before the scramble, the proofs, the pressure to fix. After, a hush, a single word, a door opening where a wall used to be. This is not magic, and it is not psychology. It is incarnation. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And then watch how that renewed mind clothes itself in syllables that carry grace and truth. The practice is small, but the fruit is not small. In your next hard talk, refuse to be the author. Take no thought. Let the river speak. And the word will become flesh, not tomorrow, not in theory, but in the very tone you carry into that room. Let us be very honest about what inflames these talks. It is not only the content, not only the policy, not only the calendar, it is the visible tone, the words sharpened by breath, the face before us, eyebrows lifted, lips tight, a silence that feels like a slammed door. We behold these appearances, and almost before we know it, we label them. Good, bad, rude, manipulative, weak, stonewalling, dramatic, and the label is the spark on dry grass. The moment we call the appearance good or evil, we are back under the government of the man of flesh, reacting, constructing a case, defending our picture, trying to fix the form. The Master warned us about this deeply and simply. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. What is righteous judgment? Not a more sophisticated label, not a cleverer diagnosis. Righteous judgment is the withdrawal of judgment from the scene altogether, a turning back to the invisible source. Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. If he would not allow goodness to be located in his visible self, how quickly may we release the claim that goodness or evil is in a tone, a posture, a sentence on a screen. Try to see this with me, not as a doctrine, but as a doorway. The raised voice is neither good nor evil. The rolled eyes are neither good nor evil. The trembling hands, the rapid speech, the long pause, neither good nor evil. That email with 4 bullet points and no greeting is neither good nor evil. This is a hard saying until we discover that good is invisible. The good that governs is not in the flower vase on the table, not in the diploma on the wall, not even in the smile on a loved one's face. Those are lovely forms, and they may be messengers of something, but they are not the thing. The kingdom of God cometh not with observation, neither shall they say, Lo here, or Lo there. For, behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Within is where value resides. Within is where governance begins. Within is where the word that heals is born. And so we are asked to perform a gentle but radical act in the pause. Release the person from qualities. This one before you, with whom you must speak plainly, is not a difficult spouse, not a defensive manager, not a sensitive teenager, not even a wonderful friend. All these are masks, persona, the roles we play and react to. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Let us take the Lord's side in this and look on the heart. Behold, behind the costume of mood and habit, a person without qualities, identity, not built of temper or talent, but of the same life that constitutes your being. Peter was blessed not because he identified a trait in Jesus, but because he saw through to identity. Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. In proportion as you behold even the faintest glimmer of that same truth in your neighbor, this one here, now you liberate them from the burden of being good or evil in your sight, and you liberate yourself from being their judge. Charity suffereth long and is kind, thinketh no evil. That is not sentimental. That is a spiritual technology for conversation. What does this give us in practice? Space, air, a government not our own. When you take your 5 minutes and the mind rushes to weigh the last remark, the last text, the last meeting, you will hear yourself beginning to assign qualities. In that moment, stop short inside and say, if you like in words, if you like without words, Father, thou art the life of this one. I release them to their own source. I release myself from being their maker or mender. I can of mine own self do nothing. As you say that, the clutch releases. The body hears it first, the jaw softens, the breath remembers its rhythm, and then the mind obeys. The label drops. The person stands before you not as a case to be solved, but as a life to be honored. And into that atmosphere, love can govern what comes next. You will find you can watch the same face with new eyes. The teenager who rolled her eyes a moment ago before she was disrespectful, now she is a person presently weary, presently guarded, but a person whose core is not defined by that gesture. The colleague whose email came blunt before, he was abrasive. Now, he is a person presently pressed by deadlines, presently unconscious of tone, but a person nonetheless under the same grace as you. In that shift, a word you could not have manufactured arrives. Seems like there's more under this. Do you want to tell me? Or, let's pause until we both have the bandwidth to hear, or simply, I'd like to understand. Not clever, not soft, not hard, true. And you will know its truth by the fruit. The air settles. Or, if it does not yet settle, you remain settled. And boundaries spoken from that settlement become clear without cruelty. Do not fear that releasing judgment will make you naive or permissive. Judgment is not the same as discernment, and love is not the same as indulgence. When judgment is withdrawn from appearances, the invisible good is free to govern, and that governance may give you a firm no, a practical plan, a timeline, a consequence, but it will not be born of punishment, it will be born of presence. Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. And because it comes that way, it will carry its own quiet authority, and you will not need to prop it up with heat. Let this be our aim as we approach the protocol itself. Withdraw judgment from the scene so the unseen good may show us how to speak. Let the mantra, if you need one, be plain. This, neither good nor evil. This person, not their qualities. This moment, not mine to run. God is love. And love, we're not entangled in our measurements, will take the government upon its shoulders and give the next word. Then, and only then, does the word become flesh, not as a theory in your head, but as a tone in your voice, a light in your eye, a sentence that opens a door where a wall used to be. Judge not, that ye be not judged. Let love judge, and see how swiftly the crooked places begin to straighten of themselves. Now, the way of this is not complicated. It is not a system of tricks, nor a rhetoric class. It is a stopping short and a turning within for inspiration, and then a letting of that inspiration take on the form of the next small, practical word. That is all. Stop, turn, receive, return. Speak. And because we are embodied and accountable to time, we will let 5 minutes hold us, not as a law, but as a little ark that carries us from the old government of reaction to the new government of presence. Take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that hour. Let it be given. We will keep it very plain. The 5 minutes unfold as a gentle arc, and you will not have to manufacture any part of it. First, the body must be told it is safe. Safety cannot be argued into the mind while the jaw is locked and the breath is thin. So, minute one is only this. Take no thought and breathe. Unclench the hands. Let the shoulders drop of their own accord. If you like a cue, put a little timer where you can see it and hear a soft bell when the minute turns. Let that bell be your reminder that you are released from managing time. The presence keeps time. If you like a word to keep the mind from wandering into its old duties, let it be simple. Inhale, here. Exhale, I am. Not to make something happen, only to be here. Be still and know that I am God. The body hears that better than the mind. Second, when the body remembers its safety, we turn our sight into truth. We behold a person without qualities. We cease arranging the scene in terms of right and wrong, hard and easy, and we let the mask fall away. You can say it quietly within. This person is not their tone, not their habit. And again the bell may sound, and with it comes space. The label slides off. The other stands as a life in God. The Lord looketh on the heart. Take the Lord's side and look there. Third, we yield. We do not improve ourselves, we surrender ourselves. I, my own self, can do nothing. Not as a pious phrase, but as a doorway. Say it if you must 10 times until the shoulders hear it. I am not the speaker, not the fixer, not the mender. I am branch, not vine. The presence that goes before me makes the crooked places straight. Let it go before me into my very syllables. In that minute, self-effort gives up the chair and the room grows quiet inside. You will feel the difference as surely as you feel a window open on a summer night. Fourth, we listen, not for a clever line, not for the winning point. We listen for the unrehearsed word, the word that comes clothed in quiet assurance. It may be a sentence, it may be a single syllable, it may be only a direction. Wait, ask, apologize, pause. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and notice, it is a lamp unto the feet, not a searchlight for the highway. It will show only the next step, and that suffices. If nothing comes in words, do not reach. Rest in the hush. The hush itself is guidance. Fifth, we turn back. Gratitude and simplicity. We do not leave the presence to go speak. We carry the presence into the speech. The bell sounds, the timer says, it is time, and we rise from the chair slowly or lift our eyes from the phone slowly with one quiet thanks, thank you, and we let the word become flesh. We do not gild it. We do not sell it. We do not announce that we have had a revelation. We simply speak the given word in the given tone. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. That watch is set now. The door opens to truth without heat. If you are one who appreciates cues, keep them gentle. A visible timer on your desk or at the corner of your screen. A subtle bell at each minute so you need not glance. A soft breath prompt every now and then, hearing yourself whisper, inhale, exhale. None of these are holy in themselves, neither good nor evil. They are kitchen things and office things. But placed in an atmosphere of meditation, they become servants of the invisible good. They will not give you the word. They will only hold you steady while the word gives itself. So the protocol is simple, and its simplicity is its power. Pause, perceive, surrender, listen, then let presence speak through you. Do not try to live the whole of it at once. Live only the next minute in front of you, and watch what happens to the air around your life. The crooked places begin to straighten, not by your pushing, but because another government has quietly taken the field, and the next word, when it comes, will not be yours. And yet it will come through your very lips, and it will be enough for today. Minute 1 begins very simply. Set the timer. Let the little bell or the quiet click be the permission slip to stop. Now feel your feet. Not metaphorically feel them. Heels, arches, toes, inside shoes, or on the carpet. Keep your feet on the ground. Let the shoulders descend by their own weight, as if they have remembered gravity's kindness. Let the hands rest, palms open if that is comfortable, as if they have set down a load, and inwardly, without pressure, let a single phrase begin to breathe you. Take no thought. Again, take no thought. Not a command to neglect your life. A doorway into another government. Take no thought how or what ye shall speak, said the Master, and this is that hour. Now let the breath show the body it is safe. Inhale without effort. Exhale a little longer than you inhaled. Not force, just a gentle lengthening, like a soft ribbon unwinding. The body understands this language faster than the mind. The longer exhale says, I am safe. Again, a quiet inhale, a longer exhale. If counting helps, let it be simple. 4 in, 6 out, but do not make a law of it. Let the jaw unhook from its invisible task. Let the tongue drop from the roof of the mouth. Let the eyes soften their focus. Feel the chair hold you. Feel the ground hold the chair. Feel the presence hold the ground. Take no thought and take another slow breath. You will notice the mind reach for its toolbox. It will rehearse an opening statement. It will draft a defense. It will fetch a precedent and lay it on the table. It will say, we don't have time for this, and it will tug at your sleeve. Smile at it. Do not enter. You are not at war with your mind. It is neither good nor evil. The arguments, the images, the replay of yesterday's tone, neither good nor evil. Let them stand outside the door of this minute, like visitors on the porch. If a sentence knocks, you may nod and say kindly, wait here. The Father within will let me know if you are needed. I can of mine own self do nothing, not as defeat, but as release. Breathe, and with the exhale a little longer, let the body be the first to hear the gospel. You are safe. If you need a touchstone, let the soles of your feet be that lamp unto your feet. They tell the truth faster than the head. Cool or warm, alive or quiet, they testify that you are here, not in the courtroom of imagination. This minute does not demand a solution. This minute asks only for presence. Be still and know. Not think and know. Not argue and know. Be still and know that I am God. Hear that as addressed first to your nervous system. Be still, shoulders. Be still, breath. Know, body. That another is governing this hour. With every lengthened exhale, the little clutch in the gut releases one notch. With every soft inhale, the ribs remember to widen. You may feel impulses to fix, rise, and fall, like fish breaking the surface of a lake. A memory of how they spoke last time, a plan to phrase your boundary perfectly, a rush to correct a false statement. Smile at each as it jumps. Do not lean over the boat. Do not take the bait. Neither good nor evil. Let the surface grow quiet again, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. And the first proof of that spirit is not a line to deliver. It is a loosening in the shoulders, a sigh that was not forced, a little warmth in the hands. Take no thought and another breath. If you wonder whether anything is happening, look for the small mercies. The forehead smooths. The chest stops bracing between breaths. The clock is still keeping time, and you are not its servant. The urge to check the phone softens, not because you suppressed it, but because it found no purchase in a body at rest. The mind, finding fewer hooks, quiets itself. Safety returns first to the body. As the breath steadies, thought loosens its grip. The crooked places begin to feel less crooked, not because you have straightened them, but because you have stepped out of their tangle. Take no thought. Feet on the ground, shoulders at ease, hands at rest. Inhale. Exhale a little longer. This is the first minute, and it is enough. The bell turns, and now we lift our inner eyes. Minute 2 is for beholding. Bring to mind the one with whom you must speak, not an abstract crowd, this one. See their face as it is today, or if you cannot see, let their name fill the room. Notice what the mind is eager to do. It will begin at once to hang tags upon them like little cards on a coat rack. Hard, sweet, unreliable, brilliant, thin-skinned, controlling, my ally, my problem, praise and blame alike. Do not argue with the tags. Simply set them down, neither good nor evil. Let each label slip from the hanger and fall to the floor of this minute. We are not beautifying them, and we are not indicting them. We are refusing to behold a mask. Persona, the old teacher said, is a mask. Every personality is a part in a play. We are not speaking to Hamlet nor to the critic of Hamlet. We are speaking to the life behind the part. Whisper, if you like, under the breath of your thought, this is a person without qualities, Christ as their true identity. Do not make a performance of it. Let it be as simple as placing your palm over your own heart. Father, thou art the life of this one, not in the sense of making them better, in the sense of remembering what is already true. Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. If even the Master would not locate goodness in his visible self, surely we can release the claim that goodness or evil lives in this one's temperament, in this one's habits. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Take the Lord's side, look on the heart. As you do, feel what happens in your own body. The chest that was a little armored a moment ago loosens another notch. The eyes that were ready to measure now soften their focus. The nervous system, hearing that you have laid down the gavel, lays down its shield. You are not condoning, you are beholding. You are not naive, you are choosing the real over the report. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. And righteous judgment here is this beholding, a seeing that refuses to fasten identity to behavior. The woman taken in the act stood before Jesus, laden with labels. He did not congratulate her, and he did not condemn her. He said, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. In this minute we stand there with him. Neither do I condemn thee. Go free in my sight. Go free in my speech. Release them from the burden of being right or wrong for your sake. Release yourself from being their assessor. You will feel the field between you soften as judgment leaves the room. It is not sentimental. It is tangible. The air becomes less tight. Your jaw lets go the last small task it was holding. Your breath finds its depth again. You will notice thoughts still try to return with their gifts. But they did say, but last week but if you let up now, smile at them and let them pass like birds across a wide sky. Neither good nor evil. The sky is not improved or diminished by the flock. Now speak inwardly again, not to change them, but to stay true in your seeing. I behold you where you are, not what I have called you. Christ in you, the hope of glory. If those words feel too large, shorten them to their heart. I behold the life. That is enough. All that the Father hath is mine. And because that is true of the life within you, it is true of the life within this one, not property to be seized, but nature shared. You do not have to get them to be better to speak truly. You have only to meet them where identity lives. If a particular praise tries to reclaim its place, but they've always been so dependable, how could they? Notice that praise can bind as surely as blame. It makes a contract the soul never signed, And then we speak not to a person, but to a role we need them to play. Again, lay it down, neither good nor evil. The dependability you loved was never their possession. It was the goodness of God appearing there. It will appear again where and when it is needed, perhaps through them, perhaps elsewhere. Your task is not to extract it. Your task is to behold source. Stay here quietly for what remains of the minute. Watch how the borderlines inside you fade, mine and yours, win and lose, prove and defend. You are not losing definition. You are shedding disguise. In that atmosphere, the given word will later find you with ease, because there is nothing in you contradicting it. For now, let the beholding do its work. The timer still keeps time, but you are not its servant. The other is still to be met, but not as a case to solve. The heart has taken the Lord's side. The labels lie on the floor like old garments, and two souls stand unhindered, able to meet in truth. This is minute too, and it is enough. The bell turns again, and now the work of this minute is not work at all. It is surrender. Not collapse, not passivity, but the simple admission that the clever reply cannot produce peace. Hear it as if for the first time addressed straight to the place in you that still wants to compose, to correct, to win. I, my own self, can do nothing. Say it tenderly, not as scolding, not as a verdict, but as release. I, my own self, can do nothing. The jaw hears it, the hands hear it, the little executive in the chest that wants to manage outcomes hears it and sits down. You might think at first, if I do nothing, the conversation will go poorly. But you are not asked to do nothing forever, only to do nothing now, outwardly, for this minute, so that another may act, not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. Let that Spirit take the chair. Let it lead. The great assurance of the Christ is not that you own a reservoir of lines. It is that all that the Father hath is mine, not mine as possession to spend or hoard, but mine as sufficiency here and now, enough love for this tone, enough wisdom for this knot, enough timing for this hour. Breathe once into that sufficiency. All that the Father hath is mine. Rest, then, in the quiet underneath words. Think of this minute as the hallway between inner room and outer field. You do not rush a hallway. You walk it in awareness. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Stand still inwardly. Let the mind that wants to send a text draft, let the hand that wants to compose an email simply be still. Your willingness is the only doing needed here. Father, I am willing to be led. That is prayer enough. In that willingness, something gentle begins to move ahead of you. Call them angels, if you like. The Scripture does. He shall give his angels charge over thee. They are not winged forms in this practice. They are the quiet inner goings before. An impulse to wait an hour. A nudge to start with. Help me understand. A remembrance to bring water and sit at the table instead of speaking in the doorway. A sense that the right time is after supper, not now. These are angels. Do not argue them away because they are small. The kingdom hides in the small, and so does wisdom. Let the angels go before you to make the crooked places straight, even into your very syllables. Notice how surrender ripples through the body. The forehead that took on the job of tomorrow smooths. The breath finds again that longer exhale without you managing it. The stern part of the mind that says, hurry, or you will lose control, discovers that control is no longer the goal. Harmony is. And harmony does not answer to your watch. You will not miss your moment by yielding your self-effort. You will miss it by overrunning it. Be still and know that I am God. Not be still and think. Not be still and plan. Be still and know. If fear whispers, but what if nothing comes? Answer it gently. Then nothing will be what is given, and nothing is better than something manufactured. Silence can be the truest sentence in the room. If a word is needed, it will be given in the next minute. If a step is needed, it will be shown to the feet that are already on the ground. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, not a stadium light for the weak. Let lamp be lamp, let foot be foot. Do nothing outward in this minute. No composing, no rehearsing, no setting the table of your case. Do not pre-negotiate outcomes with your imagination. Do not try to feel holy. Let your sole work be willingness. Willing not to be the speaker. Willing not to be the fixer. Willing to be branch rather than vine. I am the vine, ye are the branches. Draw, do not pump. Receive, do not manufacture. All that the Father hath is mine, and therefore what is needed for this meeting is already present in the invisible, awaiting only a surrendered instrument to flow through. Stay here until the bell. If stray solutions come knocking, that opening line you loved last time, that clever phrasing that scored a point, smile at them on the porch and say, wait here. The presence will let me know if you are needed, and you will feel the oddest relief. The burden to be right sliding off the shoulders. The burden to be impressive slipping to the floor. The burden to prevent disaster leaving the room altogether. The government has changed hands. Guidance does not have to fight its way in now. There is a door open. This is minute 3. Surrender has made the opening. Guidance will take it. The bell turns, and now the ear of the heart opens. This minute is not for composing, but for receiving. We do not fish with a net of arguments. We let the stillness draw up what already swims beneath the surface. My sheep hear my voice, said the Master. Not they strain to manufacture a voice, not they practice a tone, but they hear. So we listen not at the forehead where strategy lives, but from the chest that has just learned to rest. We listen in the quiet with a willingness not to edit the spirit. If a word is given, we do not sand it into cleverness. If no word is given, we do not panic and carve one out of air. After the fire, a still small voice, wrote the prophet, and sometimes it is so still you think it is nothing. It is not nothing. It is guidance. Notice the way the given word arrives. It does not shove. It does not need a herald. It slips in clothed in quiet assurance, like a lamp being brought into a dark room. You will know it by its feel more than by its syllables. It is usually first, not because you raced, but because you stopped. And in the stop, the next true step can place its foot. Often it is short, often it is kind, often it is clear. Help me understand. I'm sorry. May I start again? I can see this matters to you. What would be fair here? I need a quiet hour. May we return at 2? These do not perform, they serve. A soft answer turneth away wrath. And you will notice soft does not mean weak, it means unarmed. Test what comes, not by debate, but by feel. Hold the word lightly in the heart and ask, does this ease the chest? Does this include the other inside its circle? If the answer is yes, you will feel your ribs widen a little without trying. If the answer is yes, you will sense there is room in it for both truth and tenderness. If what arrives makes you taller against the other, makes you right and them wrong, makes your stomach harden, lay it down, neither good nor evil, just not for this hour. Let your speech be alway with grace, seasoned with salt, said Paul. Grace first, then salt enough for clarity. If the sentence you are holding has too much salt and no grace, it will dry the tongue before it leaves the mouth. Do not edit the spirit. If the given word is simply wait, do not embroider it with a lecture about waiting. If it is ask, do not convert it into a cross-examination. If it is apologize, do not bargain down to a partial apology with a footnote. The presence does not need your ornaments. It needs your consent. Open thou my lips, and my mouth shall shew forth thy praise. Notice the prayer is not, I will open my lips. It is, open thou. Let the opening be done to you, and when it opens, do not rush past it into your old eloquence. Speak the word as it came, simple and unadorned, and you will feel the odd confirmation that it is enough. And if nothing comes, then nothing is the holy portion of this minute. Hold it without shame. Emptiness is not failure, it is instruction. It may be saying, not yet. It may be saying, let the other speak first. It may be saying, sit at the table and pour water. It may be saying, send the text that asks for a time to speak tomorrow, not today. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Holding your peace may be the whole of obedience for now. Silence in such an hour is not a wall. It is a field in which the other may lay down their weapons without losing face. Trust the field. You will discover that the unrehearsed word and the unrehearsed silence carry the same signature. Peace. Not the dramatic peace of victory, but the quiet peace that needs no victory. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth. The world gives peace by arranging outcomes. The presence gives peace by arranging hearts. When the chest eases, when the eyes can look without agenda, when the boundary you must set does not come with heat, you are in the stream of that peace, and the word, whether syllable or hush, is safe to deliver. Stay with this listening until the bell. If a dozen lines come knocking, let the first with peace remain and bless the others on their way. If no line comes, bless the emptiness and do not levy a tax upon yourself to produce. The timer keeps its count, the angels go before. The word, when it is needed, will present itself as surely as a seed knows which way is down. You are not making this, you are consenting to it. And so, when the bell turns, either you will carry one small word in your palm like bread, or you will carry the quiet itself like water. Both feed, both cleanse, both are given. The bell turns. Do not hurry. Let the last echo of it be the amen of your inward prayer. Quietly, almost under your breath, say, thank you. Not to congratulate yourself, to seal what has been given. In everything give thanks, not because everything is lovely, but because gratitude closes the circuit. It keeps you from rushing back into your own governance. Now, without breaking the thread, let the eyes open. If they had closed, lift the gaze as if you were lifting a small lamp. Feel again the weight of your feet, the hold of the chair, the kindness of the floor. Let your hand rest on the table, on the phone, on the doorknob, not to seize it, but to bless it. You are not leaving the inner room to go out into a harsh world. You are letting the inner room go with you into this next minute. The presence does not stay behind. Lo, I am with you always. And so this turn back is not a departure, it is a carrying. Carry only what was given. One sentence, one question, one boundary, no more. If you were given, I'm sorry, carry, I'm sorry, not I'm sorry, because with three exhibits. If you were given, help me understand. Carry, help me understand. Not an interrogation that dresses itself as curiosity. If you were given a time, not now, at 2, carry that single hour like bread. If you are given wait, carry the waiting itself as your wordless speech. Let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay, and you will discover that simple yea and simple nay, when born of presence, are not blunt instruments. They are clean lines that do not cut. Resist the urge to pad the gift with your eloquence. Do not garnish the bread. Do not perfume the water. Gratitude and simplicity deliver the inner word into the world without distortion. Now step. If you must stand, stand slowly. If you must dial, dial slowly. If you must walk down a hall, walk as if you were carrying a saucer of light, because you are. When you enter the room or lift the phone, do not announce your holiness. Do not say, I've prayed and I have a word. Do not explain spirit. Thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Let the secretness of this minute be its strength. You speak from presence and then you stop. You do not sell what does not need selling. You do not defend what does not need defending. You do not add a second sentence to make sure they got the first. The seed knows its work better than the sower. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Give the other their ears, give the word its room. If the given word is an apology, give it without a receipt. I'm sorry. Full stop. Let the silence that follows be pasture, not punishment. If the given word is a boundary, give it with the quiet that comes from truth. I won't be able to say yes to that. I can do this much. Not a flare of heat, not a speech about principles. Just the line, laid like a level plank. Mercy and truth are met together, and you will feel both in your tone when you do not add weight to make your point. If the given word is a question, let it be a door, not a trap. Help me understand what matters most to you in this, and then stop. Let them enter. The presence that goes before you has also gone before them. Give it a chance to do its work. Watch for the old habit that arrives late and eager. Explain, explain, explain. Make it airtight. Make it unassailable. Smile inwardly at that visitor on the porch. It is neither good nor evil. It is only old management, hoping to be rehired. You have a new government now. I can of mine own self do nothing, and that includes justifying the spirit to the human mind. The fruit of the Spirit persuades more surely than argument. A soft answer has already turned away more wrath than any brief you could have drafted. If you feel the heat beginning to rise in your chest or the cleverness beginning to sharpen on your tongue, that is your cue to return to the breath even as you stand in the room. Inhale. Exhale a little longer. You are not leaving, you are deepening. Notice, too, that you do not measure the success of this minute by their face. Appearances are changeable and tell slow truths. Neither smile nor frown is your verdict. Neither quick agreement nor awkward pause is your proof. The proof is the feel in your own atmosphere, the chest unarmored, the jaw unhooked, the eyes able to behold a person without qualities, even while you speak a clear line. Peace be unto you, said the Master, and that peace, not victory, is your signature. Hold to it quietly while the word you carried lands where it must. When the moment has done its work, perhaps in a sentence, perhaps in a few minutes, stop. Do not be the echo of your own word. Do not trail it with apologies if none were given to you to add. Do not recap. Silence is still your ally. If the other speaks, listen. If the other is silent, stand in the field with them. Let the field do several labors you could not do with 100 lines. When it is time to depart or to shift to other matters, depart without ceremonial exit. The kingdom seldom uses a curtain call. When you are free, even if only to the next room or the next breath, whisper again, thank you. Not because the outcome pleased you, but because obedience was possible. All that the Father hath is mine, and part of that all is sufficiency. After speaking, to refrain from harrying yourself with a post-mortem, to refuse the old habit of replay, to release the other into the same presence that just spoke through you. If you feel the tug to review, let it pass like a cloud, neither good nor evil. Return to the soles of your feet. Return to the small lamp at your feet. The timer is quiet on the table. The angels are already dispatched to the next small appointment, and you You have let a word become flesh in an ordinary minute. That is enough for now. Let us take a living scene, not a theory. You are at the kitchen counter or walking through a doorway, and your partner, with heat that has been saving itself for this minute, says, "You never listen. Feel what happens in the chest." At once the old manager reaches for its brief. "That's not true, you're exaggerating." The reply is already halfway to the tongue. If you let it fly, you know the road that follows: point and counterpoint, exhibits and counter-exhibits, two masks talking past one another. Defense shuts the door. It imagines it is protecting. Why? Because it answers appearance with appearance and leaves the presence unemployed. Be swift to hear, slow to speak. Not because slowness is politeness, but because hearing opens the door that speech shuts when it runs ahead of spirit. Now, we do the thing we have been teaching, not someday, not when it is convenient now. The little timer is still on the table. You place a quiet hand on it as if to say, "Help me keep covenant." 5 minutes, and we will speak from presence, not from scramble. Minute 1, take no thought. Breathe and unclench. Safety returns first to the body. Do not argue in the head. Inhale into the ribs. Exhale a little longer. Feel the soles of your feet, the way the floor holds. Take no thought for your life, not as denial of life, but as release from managing it. Let the first heat leave your hands, neither good nor evil. Breath by breath, you come back into the room where God can be God. Minute 2, behold a person without qualities. Not a critic, not my accuser, not always dramatic, not unfair. A person without qualities. Christ as their identity, not as a flattery, as a fact. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Join the Lord's side. Let the labels slip from the hanger. You will feel the field soften. The eyes that were going to defend begin to see. Minute 3, I my own self can do nothing. Say it inwardly, tenderly. I cannot manufacture peace. I cannot draft the perfect line. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. Let the government change hands. Angels go before you into syllables and into the space between you. The clever reply steps back. The heart takes the chair. Minute 4. Listen for the unrehearsed word. Do not fish with a net of arguments. After the fire, a still small voice. Wait for the sentence that carries peace as its signature. Test it by feel. Does it widen your ribs? Does it include the other? A word comes like a small lamp. I hear you. Would you share one moment this week when you felt that? Do not embroider it. Do not sand it into cleverness. Hold it as bread. Minute 5. Turn back. Gratitude seals the circuit. Thank you. Carry only what was given. Speak it simply. Let your communication be yea, yea, then stop. No garnish. No defense hiding in courtesy. Deliver the bread and let the field work. Now watch the fruit. For a tree is known by its fruit. The tone that was sharp meets a surface that is not armored and softens by itself. Not always at once. Yet you can feel the heat losing a little of its fuel because it was met with recognition, not rebuttal. They search a moment, surprised to be heard, and then specifics appear where accusation had been a flood. Tuesday, when I was talking about the meeting and you kept looking at your phone, I felt invisible. The invisible has begun to become visible, not as blame, but as a clear picture. You are given the next simple word without manufacturing it. I see that moment. I'm sorry. I can put the phone away when you begin, or, if this is important, may we take 20 minutes after dinner, undistracted. Mercy and truth are met together. Boundary without cruelty. Soft answer without fog. A soft answer turneth away wrath, and you will feel it turning, not magic, presence. Do you see the difference? Recognition opens a door that defense keeps shut. Agree with thine adversary quickly, not as capitulation to falsehood, but as swift consent to see what they are seeing so the Spirit can address it. You did not validate the line. You never listened as a cosmic verdict. You honored the heart that, in one moment, felt unheard, neither good nor evil. The persona that was ready to prosecute has no job now. The person without quality stands in the field with you. Repair becomes possible not by the brilliance of your case, but by the humility of your seeing. And you will notice, even if the outer conversation goes on with its bumps, that inwardly the signature remains, peace. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, not victory, peace, not control, communion. The Word became flesh in an ordinary kitchen because you let it be given, and the presence that goes before you made one crooked place, straighter first in the chest, then in the syllables, and then in time in the shared life. That is demonstration. That is enough for this case. Now let us take a different room, the inbox. You open the thread, and there it is, combative, rapid-fire paragraphs, bolded lines and exclamation points, sentences that press you against a wall you did not see being built. Feel the instant electricity in the fingers. The brain begins its engines. Draft 1, sharp, precise, devastating. Draft 2, cooler but edged, wittier, because it hopes to wound without looking unkind. Draft 3, a legal brief with footnotes, because nothing wins like documentation. Drafts pile up like little swords laid out on a table. You know this feeling. It dazzles with its own cleverness. It promises safety by triumph. It never delivers. The wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. You are about to send heat out and call it light. Stop short. The little timer is on the desk as surely as it was on the table. Touch it. 5 minutes. We are not going to win. We are going to be led. We are not going to escalate. We are going to let a word become flesh in a sentence that can live in the world without burning it. Minute 1, take no thought. Breathe and unclench. Let the hands leave the keyboard and rest on the thighs. Inhale into the sides of the ribs. Exhale longer, as if you were laying down your own weapons with the outbreath. Take no thought for your life, and that includes your email life. The screen brightens and dims. You do neither. You are returning to the room where God can be God. Minute 2, behold a person without qualities behind the screen. Not that bully, not always political, not this is why you can't trust them. Persona is mask. Set it down. The Lord looketh on the heart. Join him there. See only person without qualities. If you think you need more courage to do this by email than by voice, you are right. The mask of the screen tempts us to forget the heart. Remember it now. The field will soften. Minute 3, I, my own self, can do nothing. I cannot draft a letter that manufactures peace, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, even in a reply-all thread. Angels go before you here too, a nudge to shorten, an impulse to set a concrete time, a sense that the boundary should be plain and without commentary. Let them go. They know the hallways of Monday afternoon as surely as Sunday morning. Minute 4, listen for the unrehearsed word. From the quiet, test what wants to be written by its feel, not its cleverness. Does it widen the ribs? Does it include the other in its circle? A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver. What comes is short, practical, and clean. You can feel the simplicity rise like a small lamp. Minute 5, turn back and let the word become flesh. Thank you. Now fingers to keys, but carry only what was given. No polish, no moral. Let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. Type it as it came, something like this. I value our work. I'm available to discuss Tuesday 2:30. I won't engage written blame. A live conversation will be more productive. Stop there. Do not add an exhibit of your good intentions. Do not include the transcripts you attempted to paste. Do not include a PS that reopens the argument in smaller font. The seed knows its work. Watch the fruit. The thread does what heat has not been able to do. It cools, not always in one reply, but the temperature falls because you removed kindling. Logistics anchor emotion. A calendar square appears where chaos was. Respect the quiet kind, not the performative kind, increases not because you dominated, but because you drew a clean line without cruelty. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt. Grace first, I value our work. Salt enough, I won't engage written blame. The boundary did not arrive as a wall. It arrived as a door with clear hours printed on it. Anyone who wishes to walk through may, and when they do, they find a human being inside, not a fortress. Someone will ask, but what if they keep firing? Then you keep the atmosphere. Neither their push nor your quiet is good or evil of itself. The good is the invisible government you just enthroned. You answer once more with clarity and brevity, or you do not answer at all, according to the same inner bell. Yea, yea, nay, nay. You do not argue about your boundary, you embody it. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth, keep the door of my lips, and in this age, before my fingers, keep the door of my send key. Notice the shift inside you. The chest is not armored. The jaw is not clenched around a sentence that demands to prevail. Peace is the signature, not victory. The word has become flesh as calendar and sentence. A time on Tuesday, a simple refusal to do harm in print, an invitation to meet where faces can be beheld and the person without qualities can be seen. The presence that goes before you has gone before, even into the email, into tone, into timing, into the unseen heart on the other side of the glass. This is not clever conflict strategy. This is government changing hands, again, in an ordinary room. Presence gives boundaries that are clear without cruelty. And so the work gets done. The respect deepens. The heat finds it has no fuel. A tree is known by its fruit. Look and be at peace. Now we let this come down from the kitchen and the inbox into the lanes and aisles of the day. Presence belongs in errands as much as in prayer. If Eden is anything at all, it is not a garden somewhere else. It is this field, here, where appearances are released from judgment and governed by the invisible. Small pauses, placed often, turn ordinary frictions into ordinary grace. And so we practice not only the 5-minute turn, but the 60 to 120-second version you can carry in your pocket like a smooth stone. You are in the grocery line. The cart ahead is a mountain. The voucher isn't scanning. A child somewhere has discovered the acoustics of cereal boxes. Feel the old manager step forward to supervise the universe. Now the micro pause. Touch the heart, feel the feet. One, take no thought, one breath. That is your little cue stack. Hand to chest not as theater, as a switch from head management to heart awareness. Soles on the floor. Remember gravity is your friend. Take no thought, once, as a whisper. One slow inhale, one longer exhale, neither good nor evil. This line, this clerk, this delay. Objects, forms, sounds, the good is invisible. Behold a person without qualities at the register, not slow, not careless, but person. In that one breath, you will feel your ribs widen, and with them, your world. If a word is given, it will be something like, no rush, I'm fine, offered softly. If no word is given, Your gift is your unarmored presence. Be still and know that I am God. The word becomes flesh as a softer gaze, as staying with your cart instead of leaning like a batter at the plate, as not adding your weather to the room. Traffic now. A horn flares behind you as if it were a verdict. A driver cuts in close enough to write their license plate on your heart. The old manager reaches for the gavel. Micropause. Touch the heart, feel the feet. One, take no thought, one breath. Feel the wheel under your hands as if it were the altar. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Neither good nor evil. This lane, this schedule, that driver. Behold, a person without qualities encased in steel. All of us have been that hurry. Let the presence govern distance and timing. Perhaps the given word is not a word, but a simple act. Lift the foot, make room, or turn off the radio to turn on attention, or exit one ramp later and release the race. Angels go before even into lanes. You will find that safety returns first to the body, shoulders down, jaw soft, and then to judgment. No verdict issued, no case pursued. The fruit is not drama. It is a clean merge and a pulse that doesn't spend itself like coin. Home again, and as you lift the lid of your work, a small hand tugs the sleeve, or a voice arrives without knocking, or the dog paces because storms have been on the news all day. Friction, ordinary and holy. Micropause, touch the heart, feel the feet. One, take no thought, one breath. See the child as a person without qualities, the partner as a person without qualities, even the anxious animal as life responding to atmosphere. Suffer the little children to come unto me, not as sentiment, as instruction in atmosphere. The given word may be 2 minutes, and then I am all yours, and then keep covenant. Or it may be to kneel, to put your eyes where theirs are, and let your voice go down an octave. Non-judgment steadies the room. You will notice that children and animals read the air faster than adults. When you remove hurry and verdict, they settle not always in an instant, but as though a window were opened. The presence that goes before you makes crooked places straight in the living room too. This is simple, and it is enough. Touch the heart. Feel the feet. One, take no thought. One breath. You can do it at red lights, between rings, before you open the door to a room that holds a mood. You can do it with a hand in your pocket, fingers curled against your own palm to remember you are held. You can do it in the milk aisle, at the crosswalk, in the hallway outside a teenager's closed door. The word becomes flesh in the smallest ways. A cart that moves a half step slower, a hand that waves a stranger into the lane, a voice that finds the lower register instead of the higher one, a face that does not mirror panic. Peace I leave with you, and you leave a little of it behind you wherever you have paused, neither good nor evil in these forms, but the good always, the good governing them from within when you step aside. This is how Eden spreads, not by conquering the world, but by many small surrenders that let a great presence be practical. Try it a dozen times today. Watch the fruit and be at peace. Before we go further, let us release a few gentle misunderstandings so that the path stays clean underfoot. The pause is not a trick to buy time or to save face. It is the place where face and heart meet, the one who alone can govern the next word. Be still and know that I am God. Not be still and avoid, not be still and manage, but be still and know. Then, from that knowing, let your yes be yes and your no, no. Do you see the sequence? Stillness, then clarity. Silence, then speech. The pause is not a delay of truth. It is the birthplace of truthful speech. First, not avoidance. We do not hide behind quiet as a way of never saying the hard thing. We are not escaping the room. We are refusing to speak from fear. Perfect love casteth out fear. And fear-driven sentences always ask to be paid with someone else's peace. Love needs no such wage. The 5 minutes are courage taking a breath. They are the difference between blurting and bearing witness. When the word comes, it may be swift and exact. I won't continue while we are shouting, let's return at 2, or this isn't workable for me. That is not evasion. That is love stewarding the atmosphere so that wisdom can have a hearing. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. And then step 1, clear step without apology for being clear. Second, not manipulation. Presence is not a tactic. It will not be harnessed to make people behave. The mass tries to learn this method the way it learns a sales script, pause, lower tone, use the magic phrase, and then wonders why the room will not yield. Because the presence does not serve the mask. I, my own self, can do nothing. The pause is where self-will resigns and a higher government takes the chair. It is not how we get our way, it is how the way gets us. You will know you have left manipulation when your ribs widen and outcomes loosen. You will also notice that you are as ready to receive a no as to give one, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. The fruit of that Spirit is peace, not compliance. When peace is the signature, you are no longer managing, you are being led. Third, not people-pleasing. Love does not bend the truth into a smile. Love can and does say no, and when it says no, it is not a withdrawal of love, but a ministry of clarity. Mercy and truth are met together. Mercy in tone, truth in line, boundaries given from presence are not punishments. They are doorways with legible hours. Yea, yea, nay, nay. You will find that the nay born of spirit is lighter on the tongue than the yes born of fear, and it places both of you on solid ground. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. People-pleasing is confusion, changing your yes into maybe to avoid a frown. Presence gives you the grace to say, I can do this, I cannot do that, and then to rest from self-reproach. Let this be the frame you carry. Be still and know. Then let the given word take on flesh as a plain yes or a plain no, as a sentence or as silence that keeps covenant. Neither the pause nor the speech that follows is good or evil in itself. The good is the invisible that governs them both when you step aside. The angels that go before you are not there to win an argument. They are there to make the crooked places straight, first in you, then in the field you share. Speak then, when the bell within turns. Speak what is given and only what is given. You will find that truth told from presence does not bruise. It clarifies, it relieves, it leaves a clean aftertaste. And in a world hungry for honesty without harm, your small obedience will prove a large government. Now, let us widen this from the single heart to the shared room. One person pausing is a mercy. A household or a team pausing becomes climate. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. If there is a name to gather in here, it is not mine or yours, not the name of a role or a reputation, it is the name of presence. And so we make a simple covenant, not lofty, not long. In this house, in this team, we pause before heat. Anyone may call 5. During the 5, no one is praised and no one is condemned. Neither hero nor villain is appointed. There is only person without qualities and the invisible that governs persons when we make room. Put a small timer where life happens. In a home, on the kitchen table where spaghetti and report cards meet, in a team, in the meeting room, beside the agenda. Normalize it until it is as common as salt. When heat rises, volume, speed, the old manager clearing its throat, someone touches the timer and says, gently, 5. No eye rolling, no performance review in the eyebrows, no confetti for being the one who called it. 5 is not a trophy. 5 is a truce to let God be God. Judge not that ye be not judged includes judging the pauser and the paused. For 5 minutes we practice what we already know. Take no thought. Behold a person without qualities. I, my own self, can do nothing. Listen for the unrehearsed word. Then let the word become flesh as one plain sentence, or as a changed tone, or as a decision to differ. Roles are set down in the 5. The parent releases the robe of parent. The teenager releases the armor of teenager. The manager steps out of the managing mask. The star performer lays down the star. The difficult uncle is no longer difficult only person. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Join the Lord's side. Behold one another as Christ, not as flattery, as fact. You will feel the air change. The eyes stop searching for guilt and begin to see. The hands unclench around utensils and pens. Shoulders remember they are not the roof holding up the world. Watch what happens at meals. The late arrival, who has brought a small storm in with him, touches the timer before sitting, 5. Breath returns before narratives. A given word comes after clean, not loaded. I want to be here on time, and I need help with a transition from practice. The mother's reply is not a lecture wearing a smile. It is the word that was given to her in the 5. Let's set an alarm for shoes at 5:40. Mercy and truth are met together over salad. The meal breathes again. Let the peace of God rule in your hearts, and then it rules in the room. Watch what happens in meetings, marketing and operations, who have a long history of exchanging weather. Touch the timer when the old cloud forms. 5. Roles and reputations go silent. No always, no never, no applause for the brilliant point that would have won the afternoon. Presence goes before into policy. From the quiet, the unrehearsed word arrives. 1 pilot store, 2 weeks, clear metrics. Not clever, just given. The agenda advances without the hidden tax of sarcasm. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Peace becomes a line item that saves hours. Policies themselves change under this governance. Policies written in fear turn people into problems to be controlled. Policies written from presence turn into simple guardrails that honor persons. You will hear the shift in language. Fewer punishments, more plain boundaries. Fewer pages, more clarity. Doors with hours, not walls with barbed wire. Let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. And when someone must say no, it will not bruise, because it was not manufactured, it was given. This atmosphere without judgment frees even the quiet ones to be true. In offices where the timer is honored, the intern speaks once and is heard because the field is not a contest. In homes where 5 is covenant, the child with a slow-to-speak nature finds a safe lane into the center. In honor, preferring one another, the word becomes flesh here as safety felt, repeatable safety. And when safety is the air, truth steps out of the corners without being dragged. Do not underestimate the angels that go before you when you agree together on this. I cannot explain the mechanics of a room that softens when no one is praised or condemned. I can only tell you the fruit. Voices drop, faces open, humor returns, and work gets done with less waste. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, not unanimity of opinion, unity of atmosphere, a timer on the table, a covenant in the heart, a presence in the midst, neither good nor evil in the instrument or in the pause. The good is the invisible that governs them both when you step aside together. Shared pauses create a climate where people feel safe enough to be true, and truth, spoken without fear, does its quiet work of setting free. And so it is. Now we make covenant with our feet on the ground. Not a grand vow, only a small rule that lets the Word become flesh for 1 week so that theory may be spared the burden of pretending to be practice. Write the vision and make it plain, the prophet said. Here is the plain thing. For 7 days, before any hard reply, voice, text, email, doorway, meeting, you will touch a timer and set 5 minutes. That is all. A simple rule, and you will be surprised how quickly angels begin to go before you when you give them 5 honest minutes in which to work. If you forget and speak from scramble, begin again at the next doorway. Neither good nor evil in the forgetting or in the remembering. The good is the invisible government that takes the chair whenever you pause. 7 days, no heroics, only faithfulness. Carry a card. Write it with your own hand, small enough for a pocket, large enough for a palm. If paper does not stay with you, put it on your phone's lock screen. 6 cues only, no paragraphs, no poetry. Feet, breath, person without qualities. I can do nothing. Listen. Thank you. These 6 open a path in under 5 minutes. Feet, feel the soles, the floor. Gravity, as friend, safety returns first to the body. Breath, inhale into the sides of the ribs. Exhale a little longer, take no thought, rides the out-breath. Person without qualities, strip the labels from the hanger. Behold Christ as identity, not as flattery, as fact. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Join him there. I can do nothing. Say it tenderly. Let self-effort surrender its sword, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. Listen, not for the clever line, but for the unrehearsed word that widens the ribs as it arrives after the fire, a still small voice. Thank you. Gratitude seals the circuit. It is the amen that lets the word become flesh in 1 sentence, 1 tone, 1 boundary, 6 steps. Do not embroider them. The card is not holy, the presence is. The card is a doorknob. Use it. Set a daily rhythm, light and sure. Morning, before you pick up the day, pick up the card. Read the 6 softly. Offer the tongue to the one who made it. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. Say, this is your day. Put your word in my next word. Noon or between rooms. Touch the card once like a match against the heart. Feet, breath, person, nothing. Listen, thank you, and let it relight the wick. Evening. A short reflection, not a tribunal. 3 questions only, written in a few lines so that you may return tomorrow unburdened. What word arrived? What changed? Where did I rush? Do not justify. Do not accuse. Do not score. By their fruits ye shall know them. Fruit is what we are watching for, not fault. Did a tone soften? Did a boundary arrive clean? Did silence do the work that a paragraph would have bruised? Note it. Where you rushed, simply write the scene and its feel. Bow once inwardly and let grace have it. Repentance is not a lash, it is a turn. Turn again. Make it communal in the simplest way. Choose a companion for the 7 days. It may be someone in your house or on your team. It may be a friend in another city. The covenant is modest. Once a day, share 1 fruit, never a blame. 2 minutes each, and no advice. You speak, I listen. I speak, you listen. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Keep the name clean. Do not drag a third person's reputation into the room. Your share is only this, the word that arrived and what it changed, or if you rushed the moment you saw it. That is all. No diagnosis of the other, no exhibitions of virtue, no proof that you are getting better. We are not trying to be better. We are yielding to a better government. Close with thank you. That is your amen. You will feel the room warm with a kind of uncompetitive courage. The presence loves to be invited by 2. Expect the fruit to be quiet and repeatable. Do not despise the day of small things. My peace I give unto you. And at first that peace may be a single sentence that does not bruise, or a single no that does not apologize for being true, or a phone set face down for 20 minutes because that was the given word. It may be a meeting that ends on time because presence planned the next step instead of ego planning a speech. It may be the lightness in your chest after you said, I won't engage written blame. Let's talk Tuesday 2:30. It may be that someone else's weather does not become your weather. None of these are grand. All of them are flesh word in motion, God governing syllables and schedules. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. When peace appears as a calendar square or as a tone that carries no tax, write it down. That is fruit. And when you miss, and you will, because masks love the microphone, let the rule do what it was made to do, bring you back. The moment you feel that you ran ahead, put your hand in your pocket and feel the card. Whisper once, I, my own self, can do nothing, not as shame, as relief. Neither the blurt nor the blush is good or evil. The good is the invisible that wastes nothing. If repair is given as the next word, speak it simply. I rushed. May we take 5 and begin again. If the given word is to let the hour pass and return at 2, obey that instead. Be still and know that I am God. Not be still and punish yourself. Be still and let the government change hands again. Do you see how small this is and how sufficient? A rule, a card, a few lines in a notebook, a companion, and a presence that longs to be practical. Commitment plus a few cues turns principle into a practiced way. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. Begin tonight. Before you leave this room, write the 6 on a card. Before you sleep, choose your companion and agree on the time of your daily 2 minutes. In the morning, set the timer where life happens. Keep the covenant 7 days. We are not trying to win. We are consenting to be led. The presence that goes before you will make some crooked places straight you did not even know were crooked, first in the chest, then in the syllables, then in the life you share. By their fruits you will know, and by their peace you will rest. Thank you. Now let us speak of fruitage, not as a score to be kept, but as a quiet recognizability. By their fruits ye shall know them. How shall we know? Not by applause, not by outcomes we can post, but by a shift you can feel in your ribs, in the room, and in the road between you and another. Presence proves itself not by spectacle, but by repeatable peace. It is measured in minutes that shorten, in tones that soften, in words that clarify, and in doors that open without your hand on the knob. Do you see? This is not magic. It is government, the invisible government, appearing as ordinary order. Here are metrics you can feel. The conversation that used to sprawl for 40 minutes lands gently in 8 and without a bruise. The email that would have been a paragraph of defense becomes 3 lines of clarity. Here is what I can do. Here is what I cannot. Let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. The ask arrives clear, not laced with apology or pressure. And then there are the openings, unexpected, unforced. A meeting is moved without your pleading, and the moved hour becomes the right hour. A supervisor who had seemed a wall turns into a window. Let's try it your way on a small scale. A supplier you dreaded calling answers on the second ring with kindness in his voice. A soft answer turneth away wrath, and sometimes it turns away red tape too. These are not accidents. They are the Word becoming flesh as calendars, as sentences, as schedules that fit human beings. Relational fruitage has its own scent. The other returns. You watch someone who stormed out return with their shoulders down and say, I can try again. Or they write after a long silence and tell you a truth they had been hiding, and because you withheld judgment, the truth lands clean between you. A teenager who once spoke in one-syllable weather knocks on the door and sits on the edge of the bed and tells you how the day felt. A colleague who had been your critic becomes your collaborator, not because you won them, but because you released them from being either enemy or ally and beheld a person without qualities. Neither do I condemn thee, is the atmosphere. And into that atmosphere, truth steps out of hiding. You will notice, too, that when you must say no, they hear it as a doorway and not as a dismissal. Boundaries given from presence carry the weight of love without the weight of threat. There are inner signs, and these are the sweetest because they cannot be counterfeited, less aftertaste. The old habit was to speak and then spend the hour paying for what you said with a coin of regret. Now you leave a conversation and there is no bill to pay, only a quiet gratitude that lingers like warmth after stepping in from the cold. You will notice guidance arriving sooner next time. What used to take 5 minutes of surrender now takes 2. What used to require the card in the pocket now comes as a natural turn within, as soon as the first heat appears. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. The inner yes becomes legible. The inner no loses its snarl. Even your body testifies. Breath easy, jaw unarmed, eyes clear. These are not medals, they are symptoms of government changing hands. Let us be faithful also not to make idols of appearances. Neither long nor short meetings are good or evil. Neither open nor closed doors are good or evil. The good is invisible. The fruit is not the proof of your cleverness. It is the disclosure of a presence that loves to work when invited. Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. So when you see fruit, do not seize it as personal achievement. Bow inwardly and say, thank you. Give the praise where it belongs. This keeps the channel clear and the guidance fresh. Gratitude is the law of circulation in the Spirit. It returns you to source. Now hear Scripture fulfilled quietly in life. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Where is that kingdom? Not beyond the sky, but here, as ordinary harmony, as a kitchen where a timer and a truce protect tenderness, as an office where a 5-minute silence saves 5 hours of repair, as a tone that carries no tax, as a child whose face settles because you did not add weather to the room, as bread given for this day in the form of a right word for this hour. Give us this day our daily bread. And the bread has been the next simple sentence that did not bruise. The kingdom is not a place you will enter after you get everything right. It is a government you consent to now, and its laws write themselves on your tongue. So watch for fruitage the way a gardener watches the tips of branches in early spring, not yanking, not judging, only attentive. Note the shorter conflict, the kinder tone, the clearer ask, the unexpected opening. Note the return, the softening, the deeper truth. Note the lessened aftertaste and the quicker guidance. Write them down not as trophies but as testimonies. The presence proves itself as quiet, repeatable fruit in speech and relationship. Keep pausing. Keep listening. Keep letting the word become flesh in small, sufficient ways. And so it is. Beloved, we have walked a very small road together, and because it is small, it is great. We placed a little clock on the table and consented to an invisible companion in the room. We withdrew judgment from appearances neither good nor evil, and we beheld a person without qualities. We took no thought. We said, I, my own self, can do nothing. We listened for the unrehearsed word, and then we let the word become flesh in one ordinary sentence, one plain boundary, one softened tone. That is the arc. Withdraw, judgment, turn within, receive, speak. And so it is that the presence goes before you to make the crooked places straight. Why should we keep our feet on the ground? Because the word must become flesh, not in a dream world, but at the kitchen table, in the doorway of a meeting, on the line where voices once hurried past one another. Before we go, Let us be still together for one shared breath. Feel the feet on the floor, the ribs widen, the jaw soften. On the out-breath, take no thought. On the in-breath, thank you. Let the soft bell within sound once where words cannot enter. Be still and know that I am God. In that knowing there is no contest to win, no defense to mount, only a government gladly received. Now the charge, gentle and sure. Let the next hard conversation be your altar. Touch the timer, 5 minutes. Feet, breath. Behold a person without qualities. I can do nothing. Listen, thank you. Do not manufacture a speech. Do not rehearse virtue. Let the presence give you the next simple word. Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. When the word arrives, it will not prove you. It will free you. It may sound like, I won't continue while we are shouting. Let's return at 2. It may be, this isn't workable for me. It may be silence that keeps covenant and opens a door at another hour. Let your communication be, yea, yea, nay, nay. The right word is given, not made, and it will be clothed in a quiet assurance that does not bruise, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord. As you go, carry what you already know. Keep the little card near the hand. Let the rule be your shepherd back to center when old habits knock. Walk out with feet on the ground and heart attuned. Look upon your day as Eden here and now, not because the forms have improved, but because you will withdraw judgment from them, neither good nor evil, and honor the invisible good that governs when invited. In the street, in the inbox, in the family room, behold, persons without qualities. Man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Join him there. Do not worry about results. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Fruit will appear as peace that does not charge a tax, as courage that does not shout, as clarity that neither flatters nor wounds. By their fruits ye shall know them. And if you forget, if the mask runs ahead and spends words like small coins turn again, the moment you see it, that moment is holy. Hand in pocket, touch the card, whisper once for relief, not remorse, I, my own self, can do nothing. Then, as given, repair or release. God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. The presence wastes nothing, not even our haste, when we return. I bless you now in the simplicity of this way. The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Go with a simple practice and a great presence. The rest will become flesh as needed. Lo, I am with you always. Where 2 or 3 of you remember, he will be in the midst. The angels go before you into calendars and corridors, into kitchens and conference rooms, and they make the crooked places straight in you first, and then in the field you share. Walk softly, speak only what is given, and let gratitude be your amen. Thank you.